Hey everybody, we are back for Lethal Weapon Season 1, Episode 2. There is full of explosions, and we also have a special guest who is also exploding the screen. See you after the opening.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey everybody, welcome back. If you didn't catch my cold open, we are here for Lethal Weapon Season 1, Episode 2, Surf and Turf. I am your host, Alexis Torres. You can find me all over social media, and where all Alexis Torres are sold at atorres890. Now, of course, can't do this show alone because I need my Surf and Turf, and that's, who is this over here?
It would be Chaos J.
What up?
I am so excited to get into the explosions, forensics, and crime. Oh my! Say what? Chaos J, KAAOSJ. You know where to find me on Twitter or on Instagram.
So, obviously, you're not by yourself over there.
I'm not. So who is this guy?
I don't know. I think he just wandered into our studio.
You know, I've heard that happens a lot.
I think there was a crime and he just came in and he's like, I got these guys.
He's a very well-dressed individual, though, so I'm pretty sure he's about to do it.
Let the compliments just keep rolling a little bit, so if you have more, now's the time. I'll give you time.
Gonna just stop here because I'm probably just gonna.
I'm curious. Well, I guess we'll just say who I am.
Guys, this is Johnathan.
I'll sprinkle some more in throughout the show. How about that?
It's gonna be. If there was like a ding count, that would be where that is. Just the compliments continuing through. This is Johnathan Fernandez.
Yes, hi. Hello world. Hello universe. Everybody that's listening. I'm very, very excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
And whoever's living under a rock, if you don't know, he plays Scorsese.
Yeah.
All up in the area today. Say what? Yeah. Let's get into it.
I mean, I don't call you Scorsese. I call you the sass machine because that's exactly what you give the entire. I mean, there's only been 2 episodes, but that's exactly what you.
I mean, your one-liners are bam. They are on the money.
God.
I love them.
My character throws a serious amount of shade.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, he opens his mouth and just like shadows start like, out at everybody.
I just feel like palm trees just start sprouting out of nowhere just because.
Absolutely.
So, guys, you know the drill. We are here talking live. Obviously, we got an awesome guest because of you guys. So definitely don't forget to comment on all of our videos, which both Kelli and I were able to look and find all of your comments from last week, which were awesome. And I'm glad that everybody loves this show as well because we want to keep it on the air. And then don't forget, you go to iTunes and don't forget to rate, subscribe, and do all that awesome stuff because that's how we keep the lights on and we get awesome guests like Johnathan.
Yeah.
So, I want to get through this episode because I want to talk about Johnathan a little bit more, but let's get into it. So, we cut to a beautiful day at the beach. I don't know what beach it was. I don't know if anybody caught it because I haven't been to the beach very often around here because I'm not a beach bunny.
I tweeted it out. It's Malibu.
Is it? Oh man, that's awesome. It can't tell with all the filters on top of it. It's usually cloudy. But we see a body washed up on the beach, and of course I'm freaking out, going, "Okay, we got it right into the crime."
Just DB all up in the place.
Yeah, but it's not a dead body.
Nope, not at all.
We get a very drunk and very naked Riggs coming up on the beach.
Kudos to Klain because like that's the first time I had seen it actually.
Really?
Yeah, and the positioning his body was in was amazing.
Well, yeah, that's why I thought it was a dead body.
Right,
very dead.
Right, like with rigor mortis and everything already set in.
Yeah, Riggs the mortis.
Riggs the mortis.
Exactly.
Stop it.
You see what he just did there?
That's how it happens.
This show's gonna be the death of me. Oh God, the puns. All right, so clearly they tell him to cover up, and I love how he didn't even cover up himself. He just, the sun can be a bitch is his phrase, and. Gosh, I can't even. I'm trying to put all of my thoughts because this episode was so crazy. So obviously we get back to them and we find out the number, which we talked about in the last episode.
We did.
Which I can't remember what the actual number was. I think it was like
it was like 14 something, right?
Yeah, like
or 1.4.
It was
1.4 million?
It was 1,438,955.
Are you serious right now?
Say what?
Get out of
Photographic
here.
memory up in the place.
Stop it. That cost them in collateral damage, and pretty much they are not allowed to continue doing this because it's just going to rack up. So instead, we get them going to a noise complaint in a very fancy mansion up in, I'm assuming Malibu as well, but I could be wrong. Then we
That was in the hills.
Was it in the hills?
In the hills,
Okay, see, that's the problem is I don't know what location. You guys must shoot all over LA, right?
Yeah. Actually, I was just saying, in Long Beach, we were the other day doing some resort stuff.
That's awesome.
I wasn't invited. I'm slowly getting over it.
Rude.
And
what's going on?
But the Hollywood one, it's like that house was actually empty and it was being sold for like like $30 million or something like that.
Oh, okay.
The one that
Jeez.
Derulo was just like chilling and talking about his boxing days.
Exactly.
Okay, can we talk about this? Because I was
Please,
watching
let's go ahead
and I was
jump
like,
right in there.
is that Jason Derulo? He didn't even last
Jason
that long.
Derulo. No, not at
I wanted
all.
him to say his name. I know that wasn't his
Right?
character.
Right?
We were all hoping, especially my one friend at home was hoping that he would shout it as he was getting shot.
As he falls into the pool.
Yeah.
What was
The
his
bullet
name?
noises were like auto-tuned slightly.
Exactly.
That would be amazing. If someone can do that on the internet,
Yeah,
I would
please
love
remix
that.
that video and tag us.
Ronald Dawson was his name. He's a lightweight champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm upset.
And he
I
was
wanna-
brought in. I've read every draft of the script, and for a while it was just some random name, and then
Really?
and he had like no lines. But I don't know how he got connected to this.
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah, but eventually then they were like, oh, he's part of the show, and they give him like a beefy monologue. Everything gets cut down a bunch.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see him there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was nuts. I was just not expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of skipped over it a little bit, but I wanted to kind of squish all the family talk that we had a lot of it, to be honest, in this episode. So we cut to, at one point, Murtaugh messing with some ribs, and Riggs is supposed to be coming over for dinner. And I love how we went from someone being completely naked to the beach, from the daughter just only wearing some shorts, and given some, and that's what I love about this show, is that the writing is not super dialogue-y. It's more like it's real stuff. Like I can
Right.
totally see a dad being like, no, you gotta go change. Go
Yeah.
upstairs, put some pants on,
Yeah.
and change.
Yeah, there's no long diatribe. It's just what? No, you're not even dressed. Put some clothes on.
Yeah, and I love that it's not drawn out. It's perfect. Absolutely, just to the T. That's exactly how my dad would tell me if I was wearing any type of shorts.
And
to
that
be
concept
honest.
is revisited in like episode 106. I think?
Really?
Yeah, tension in the Riggs household. The Murtaugh household, because of Chandler Kinney's outfit choice.
I feel like it's going to be a repeating theme because I mean she's at that age right now where she can try to slowly push the limit of how much skin to show,
Yeah.
and it looks like they're in the middle of summertime anyway. So I mean, but also we don't really get seasons. So
Although it rained today. Did you guys know that? I don't know if it rained here.
No,
No.
it rained here.
did it?
Did it really?
Yes,
I was on the freeway
I
for
was
2
in the
hours.
park
Yeah.
filming, and it started raining. Oh, do we have to cancel? No, we're not. I've been waiting for 2.5 hours to do this, so we're gonna go ahead and shoot.
Yeah. I was
Through
very
the rain.
upset because I
Speaking
just
of
moved from New York, and I was like, this is not what the brochure said about Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Or Tony. Exactly.
Really?
You see what I did there?
Yeah, I liked
Okay.
that actually. But speaking of shooting, we had this guy who was bringing in some weaponry, which was in the middle of a pool party, but I guess that's LA for you. I don't know. And just all of a sudden he saw, well, we thought it was Jason Derulo's character.
Right.
Yeah.
And
But
he's like,
it
look who
wasn't.
I found. Yeah. And I would have never known that right off the gate. And he just, I love that you said, like, oh, he must be the best hitman because he just hit everybody.
No. I said he was the worst.
Oh, did you say he was the worst? I thought you were being sarcastic.
But let's go ahead and say he's the best because he did. He hit a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
If his job was to just hit stuff, that's what he did. Like, he was terrible. There was no discretion. I mean, he was just I'm just gonna shoot everything and then just run all over the place.
No, he shut up the place completely. Like
Pretty
there was
much.
holes in everything. That was included.
Except the one person that could tie things back to.
Yeah, completely. I think she got grazed, but that was about it.
Yeah.
Jason Derulo got the brunt of it, and then the
Yeah.
wall.
Cinderella.
Yeah, no, I'm never gonna forget that. It's gonna be beautiful.
He died solo.
Stop it. So we forgot about talking about nicknames because I was trying to think of nicknames for us. Some of the fans did tweet me and they're like, you guys have to find a nickname. We had Chips and Salsa on the show. We had, what was it, Starsky and Hutch. We had, gosh, what was it? There
Surf
was
and Turf is the name of the episode.
Yeah.
Yes,
Surf and Turf.
which apparently that they didn't agree on that. That went by real quick. But
Yeah, yeah.
apparently Chips and Salsa is what they went with
It was
at
called something
first.
else too. That it got changed to Surf and Turf.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look. It was called something else before that though.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'd love to know what that is.
Tom and
but-
Jerry.
I mean, I would like that too. I would call him that for sure. But we find out that it was actually the woman who was a waitress there who was the target. So, sorry, I'm cutting back to just the scene of you just talking about, I guess, I was trying to remember the line that you used, but I loved how you were just standing there like, Scorsese, what do you got? And they're just, it's just, I love the back and forth between the three of you.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
thank
don't
you.
know. Did you have a
It's-
favorite Scorsese moment?
Yeah, I liked when they were in the conference room.
Okay, go for it.
We gotta wait. Unless you want to jump around.
No, we can put all
Let's do it. Let's do it.
You wanna wait?
Let's dive in. Let's dive in. Let's do it.
Yeah, because I also want to know, obviously, the person who plays Scorsese from the 2 episodes that we've had so far, what your favorite was. So, Whoever wants to go first, go
Well,
for
you were
it.
saying the conference room.
The conference room when he was getting on Riggs because he was just using his fingers and it was just a big mess and
Yeah.
I can't do that. That's like a
What's
pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, what's cool about this show is that they give me a lot of liberty to improvise.
Yeah.
And so the writers and producers are so funny at creating just funny situations and then allowing us to play like within those scenarios. So literally like on the script it only says like he dips the bagel in the coffee, Scorsese doesn't like that or is rattled by it.
Right.
And then everything else we just kind of improvise around it. And we had said I was glad that they chose that line. It was like that doesn't enhance the flavor.
Right, exactly.
Nobody does that.
I was dying.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that was just something that like there's so many that we went through and like Clayne is so funny and we were like Kevin was like laughing his face off like in the corner. But I'm glad that they chose that.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Real
Go for
quick.
it. No, go for it.
Because you said they give you liberty and they let you improv, and you're a UCB alumni.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I know.
So
I know.
I'm always itching. I'm always itching to like say
Just-
words that aren't on the page.
Just to throw it like that's not on the script, but I'm gonna add it.
Yeah, no, they're so
my
cool with
God.
that, and you really see the difference between episode 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Where I don't think they knew initially how funny the character could be, and then you put me in a situation where I'm like able to improvise with, comedy icon Damon Wayans,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
one of the funniest people of all time, and then what do you expect? I guess so there was a lot of stuff like in episode 1 that they did not use,
Right.
Because like when we were in the morgue and. Dealing with like the first dead body, the guy that shot himself, like we had a lot of jokes in and around that, but you only have so much time,
Right.
So you got to kill your darlings, and you can't use all the funny lines.
But I think my favorite line so far, at least from you, is the geosites one, because I'm a giant nerd. So when you're
Thanks.
like, oh yeah, let's just hop on our geosites, and I was like, this
Yeah.
guy's my favorite.
That's awesome.
I literally wrote in my notes, I said geosites, get the F out of town.
Yeah.
Because it was just
Yeah, it was also.
so perfect.
I think I said it as a joke between takes.
Oh, did you?
And then we're like, oh, you should use that. Yeah, GeoCity is always a funny thing to say.
Yeah, I don't know. I
After
thought it was.
1995, it's became a huge joke.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was funny. But we find out after she left one of her shoes there that they find out who it was, which is Natasha Blinko, and she actually was 9 to 12 weeks pregnant. So we went to her apartment. And I love how, because they're trying to be really careful, they used the apartment because I guess there was a couple arguing like a couple doors down. They're like, oh man, it sounds like a woman's in distress. Kick the door down. And it was kind of intense how when she came home, ran up to the roof, and then I didn't think that she was actually going to think about jumping. That was nuts to me. And then Riggs actually was able to kind of talk her down until we get a very interesting scene where he pretty much saw, no, it was Murtaugh who saw the sniper from, I think, a building next door. And I don't know what anyone would do in the situation besides Riggs taking her and jumping literally off the building into the next building's window
Yeah,
into someone's living
Absolutely
room.
the worst choice.
Right.
I was like,
With a
what-
pregnant woman.
Yeah.
I was like, what about the baby? What are we doing here? It's just,
Yeah.
oh.
But then again, it's like at the same time, do you really think she was gonna jump? Like, I don't think she
I
was
don't
gonna
think she was
jump.
gonna jump.
So then
I
it's
feel like
like
they could've just hit
maybe,
the
but
deck.
then maybe Riggs was like, well, you're gonna do it anyway. So I mean, might as well just go ahead and take a chance.
But they couldn't hit the deck because it was lower than where the sniper
Oh, then
was.
yeah, they would have still gotten shot.
Yeah, I don't think that ledge was that high. But I really love how it was like an homage to the original movie.
Yes.
It's like, they even had the same shot of like up
Right, exactly. And I was
Yeah.
waiting for the whole whatever you call that thing.
that the firefighters used to catch.
Right.
Yeah,
I was
traveling.
waiting for that, and I was waiting for that whole thing. I was like, are they really going to do that? But they didn't. But they
'cause we heard
switched
the
it up a little
sirens.
bit. Right.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
switched it up a little bit, but it was nice. It
So
was.
they were like, what would Jackie Chan do?
That was the first thing I thought of. I was like, what are we in, a martial arts movie?
Yeah.
Like, that was crazy.
and that's exactly what they
Yeah,
would do.
cut to Rumble in the Bronx, and then
Thank
fly
you.
to the other thing.
I could not get over the fact that was what I saw the behind the scenes that you did for when the show first came out.
Yeah, cool.
And talking about I think it was the director was talking about how he's trying to push the limits of this TV show with the action.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, these car chase scenes are pretty intense, but no, as soon as he jumped, I was like, where's he gonna go? And then as soon as I saw him like born identity into a freaking like window, I was like, I'm done. This show's amazing.
The stunts in the show are like look so awesome.
Yeah,
they do.
And nothing about it is television.
It's like movie quality stunts,
Absolutely.
which you don't always really get in a TV show. So
No.
to be able to see this in the TV show and it fits, it's not just, oh, let's just throw in a random action scene.
No.
I
It's
love
nice.
because usually when watching a TV show, you're like, oh, okay, the fire looks fake or the explosion's weird or whatever. But this you just bypass into like, wait, is that even possible? Like,
Right,
so
right.
immediately you just like are
Yep.
into
Yeah,
that
because that's what I was thinking. I was like, can you really do that? Maybe I should try that this weekend.
No,
Go to
I
downtown.
need you on the show. I
No,
can't do
let's
this by
go to
myself.
downtown LA tomorrow morning. and try it.
Let's do it.
I will be watching Safe from Home. I'll just be like, come back to
We'll
me.
periscope it. We'll periscope it.
Fine.
Yeah,
just
scouting some locations in
as
the
long as
artistic
you come
district.
back to me
Okay.
to AFTERBUZZ.
All right.
That's all I
Amen.
care about. So, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to go past that. I literally was just, I fell out of my seat. I just,
Even all of us that knew it was gonna happen, we're still like, that's insane.
No, and I mean, him and I were already signed off on this show. This is just, it's just piling on, and
Cool.
I can't be more excited. I think I might actually just die of a heart attack. So they get back to the precinct, and they're pretty much, I guess, trying to interrogate her, and this is when Murtaugh finds out that his wife did die, and, was pregnant when she
Right.
died. And, of course, in Murtaugh fashion, he still brings it up at the dinner table.
Oh, of course.
Can we talk about this?
Right?
Come on. You're smarter than this, Murtaugh. Why are you always messing up?
I think when you're in a situation, I think after so many near-death experiences, you probably feel close enough with that person to like that you were involved with to
Yeah.
say something off
Yeah,
the cuff
you
like
just
that,
turn
I guess.
off the filter at that point.
But how many days have we actually hung out? Like, they've been together.
Well, it's been I don't know if it's in the final episode, I forget, but in the script it was like 3 weeks later or something like
Oh, is it? Okay.
that. From the first day.
Okay.
that they were together.
wow.
Okay. I
Well, you
wanted
know
to
what?
make
They
sure.
had said 3 days. You remember they kept saying in 3 days,
Yeah, okay.
you've done blah, 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 blah,
Oh,
blah.
maybe I.
Okay.
Fuck. Yeah.
It's all good.
But we're just
I remember three. I remember
sorry.
number 3.
No, at least you were right on that. You could have been like, oh, it was like 2 months. What? But I mean, I just think it's awesome that it wasn't completely fast as like in most TV shows where it's like, it's been 24 hours.
Yeah.
We're best buddies. We can do everything together.
I love you, man.
Yeah, exactly. But I like that it's still rough around the edges, which I love.
Definitely. I like that just where, granted, I didn't quite understand what provoked the fight at that bar when he missed dinner to jump all the way back. But I liked where he's laying there and his face is bloody and he's like, and I'm not afraid to admit it, I'm hurt. I mean, granted, that's me. I would be that guy on the phone
Yep.
like, I'm hurt. I made these ribs. I was in the hot kitchen.
And he talked about it on the phone at the precinct and continued throughout the episode to keep bringing up that they
Yeah.
fall off the bone over and over and over.
Yeah, they even I forget because we were live tweeting, so I couldn't hear it that well. But like he says at one point, it's like if you look at them, the meat will fall off. Right?
Yeah,
It's so
there's different
funny.
versions, and I love that.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
hilarious.
again, their dynamic is awesome, and we know that because we're all Lethal Weapon fans. But I like that they didn't, again, rush through it. It's kind of like, again, we're still having trouble with them kind of connecting, but at the same time, they are on the same level, which I love.
I also tweeted this out that Clayton has like the best "I'm getting beat up" hair.
Right?
He does.
So
Every
floppy.
time. Anytime that he's in a car chase, anytime that he's rolling around on the ground,
This
naked
is
on the
the
beach,
best.
his
And he
hair
gets
is just,
up and it's just like, bam.
yeah, I'm
amazing.
here. Oh, it's not even right.
That Germac
really-
bounce
I hope
back
that
right
hair
there.
stays completely. I don't know if he'll ever cut it because I know that Gibson went through a few different haircuts.
Yeah,
so
true.
I'm hoping that he
a few
doesn't
different
cut
types
it.
of mullets.
Yes. So I hope he doesn't get rid of it. So I wrote get it together, Murtaugh.
Oh, what I was
in
gonna
that
say
one.
was that he picks the fight by looking at the biker dude's girlfriend.
And that's what I thought because
Yeah.
I saw him look, but I don't think that. I mean, obviously, it was probably misunderstood, but I don't think that he was looking at his girlfriend like, yeah, like
No,
let me
I
get
think
that.
I think he
was
knew.
still
He
thinking about
knew.
his wife.
Yeah, he was doing
Yeah.
it strictly to instigate the fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
well.
I was gonna say I think that if he was looking at someone who knew he was gonna get into a fight because he needed to feel that physical pain, which actually coming back to that is that the therapist has been trying. He's missed 3 sessions, so I'm assuming maybe it could be 3
a
weeks.
session a day.
Oh, okay, so it's a session a day. So
a
I
day,
thought maybe
true.
it was 3 weeks because I thought, oh, maybe once a week.
Yeah, guys, I don't read the scripts.
It's no, he just comes in and he's
You
just
come
awesome.
in and you do your thing.
And that's it.
Yeah,
You're
I
leaving.
show
You're like,
up.
bye, guys. Damon
Yeah.
Wayans, you have to stay here for another 12
Yeah.
hours. I'm
It's
out.
like, are you ready for awesome? Action. Let's go.
One take. I'm done.
Yeah, so give a quick shout out to those guys. Like, they work so hard.
Yeah.
Like, Clayne and Damon work so friggin' hard, and it's just like every day, mad long hours. Like, they're the dudes that like really carry the weight. And then my job's a joke in comparison.
No lies.
Not even a little bit.
I
love that witty banter. Like, I just want to see more.
Yeah,
like
me
I
too.
want to see you doing some more stuff. I need you to have a lab montage. It's
would be
coming. I feel it
awesome.
coming. Like the lab ballistics CSI montage.
Oh yeah,
I feel
agree.
it.
Well, tell Matt Miller.
I will
Yeah.
tell Matt
Yeah,
Miller.
we will tweet
I
him
want a
later.
I want a full Scorsese episode. I don't know if he'll get kidnapped. I don't know if he's in trouble.
Give me a montage
He
with
needs
some really
something.
cool music.
I did tell him that I was like, I've always wanted to get kidnapped in a
Yes.
Hollywood way, not in real
Yes,
life.
yes,
And
yes.
I want to,
That would be weird.
with this character, be able to use, his deductive reasoning to be able to tell the cops where he's at. And be like, I was paying attention to all these things, and this episode would be over in like 5 minutes.
I mean, we can draw it out. I think. I think
course,
it'll be
of
fine.
course.
But no, I think I don't know if it's gonna happen. Obviously, you do. But I'm hoping that I get either if it's this season or I'm hoping for season 2 that we get a Scorsese episode.
Or like a Scorsese twin, and they have to shoot the bad twin.
They have to figure out which one is right.
Oh,
They're
your
both dropping
sassy
one-liners.
banter.
You both probably one line. That'd be amazing.
I want it.
Money. I still want that montage though.
Of course, that has to happen.
You gotta have a montage.
No, but he can have a montage. It might not be in the lab, but he could have a montage while he's being kidnapped, trying to figure out stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very true.
Or Scorsese has to save Riggs and Murtaugh.
Hey,
I would
that
take
would
it.
be dope.
I would take it.
Like almost every episode, I improvise after the scene that I will follow them, and it could be
Yes.
like take your medical examiner to work day.
Exactly.
To
I
go
would
to the
love
scene
that.
of the crime.
I would love that so much. Wow, we got really far away from the episode, but it's okay because I want that TV programming so bad. So we find out that they have to go to a gun factory because it's a military grade weapon. I think it was MG10s.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so they had to go to the distributor. And of course, it was already shady when they got there. I don't know if that was just me, but it just as soon as we met, I think it was Josh something. I can't remember the guy who was testing out the weapons, but he just seemed like he was already on edge.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as Riggs got there. I mean, I know that Riggs has this type of like thing that just this macho that just comes out, and people are like, "What's happening?"
Yeah,
but
he looks rough.
yeah, but I mean,
Your macho's invading my space right now.
just right now, and he just looked like he was guilty immediately.
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
like, something's up. I don't like this. Just my spider senses are tingling. So he takes his flip phone. Who still uses flip phones?
Oh,
Martin
you
Riggs.
would be surprised.
Yeah.
Hello.
I feel like Martin. Well, he in the pilot he has some kind of smartphone.
Yeah.
Because you see that it's cracked, and I was like, oh, that's great art direction because or the props master really did it because obviously his phone would be cracked.
Yeah.
But he must have lost it or something.
I don't know, but I just.
Oh wait, no, the bad guy had the flip phone.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, he took it out
Right.
he took it out of his back pocket when
When he took one of the MG10s that were defective and started shooting up the air.
Well, you know what?
But you know what though? I think it's harder
I
to
know what
do
you mean.
traces on flip phones.
Yeah,
I
that's
was gonna
what
say
that's
bad people have
burner
burners.
phones that are flip phones.
Burner phone, track phone.
That's
Number
just
one
terrible.
burner phone
So if
in
anybody has a
America.
flip phone, we automatically know you're a bad guy.
Yeah, you're not doing good things
You're
for
not doing
society.
good things. Stop it. So he was able to take the phone, but at the same time, Murtaugh was kind of, I guess, trying to also be macho and trying to take I think it was their inventory to see exactly how many guns they actually had.
Oh, yeah.
So it
That's
looks
such
like
a funny joke too when he's like,
Oh.
"Don't start timing until I actually start." It's so funny.
Okay.
It was so funny
okay,
because
go.
that's such a kid thing to say. Because I used to teach kids in self-defense, so I used to have kids. I'm like, okay, guys, I'm gonna test you on this. They're like, okay, don't start timing me until I start. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's normal. I don't know
Yeah.
why I'd start before you get on the mat. So I thought that was really childish and
That's
adorable.
what's really cool about the show is that initially when someone like Damon is cast for something like this, like people automatically are like, oh man, it's gonna be a total goofball, and like he hasn't been. Like he's been really searching for that dramatic core, but being the fact that it's Damon Wayans and he's so funny in natural ways, it's so great to have little moments like that like take you away from the drama
Exactly.
instantly.
Yeah.
In ways that aren't like really predictable. It's just like, oh, now there's a joke here. all of a sudden.
But I like that also even Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon had a lot. I mean, there was times where it was just funny lines over and over and over, but there was also times where he was extremely dramatic. So I like that Damon Wayans was able to balance that out pretty well.
You know what I was waiting for is when he was sitting there and he was looking at the guy as the guy was coming towards him in the truck. I was waiting for that head thing.
Yeah.
I was waiting.
Oh, yeah.
I was waiting on
Classic.
that.
Head
I was
roll.
waiting on it.
Oh, we didn't.
I'm contractually not allowed to say either of the leads in the previous movies' names. So,
Really?
No.
Okay, I was like,
It sounds good though.
I was like,
damn,
that was
for real?
I'm
convincing.
not allowed to. I said Danny Glover the day before I got cast. That's not true.
Oh, stop it! I can't do this. I'm the most gullible person in the
Johnny
world.
Warner Bros. Was like, you're not going to say that name ever again in your life.
Oh my god, it's terrible. But I forgot to talk about, speaking of shooting as well, was the propane truck. Because that was pretty awesome. I wasn't expecting it to actually go off. Were you?
No, but that was money though.
Well, yeah.
I wasn't. Well, you know what? I did. I thought about that when they showed that the motorcycle had gotten caught under it. I was like, there's a possibility.
Okay. Well,
In the second episodes that I host of the behind the scenes thing, that's with McG, and it's all about stunt stuff, and he like goes through the motorcycle bit and how they actually did it. It's amazing.
you guys should really check out those behind the scenes, because they're actually really. You get to see a lot. Actually, you get to sit in a little golf cart, little Lethal Weapon golf cart, and
Yeah.
just drive around. Was it Warner Brothers?
Warner Brothers, yeah.
Yeah,
You
and
just
you
ride
get
around in a lot of circles.
Yes, which it seems like. I'm like, do you get lost when you're driving
Well,
around
I'm following like another cart that's filming
okay,
me, so
okay.
the whole time I'm just like thinking about the interview, obviously, or like something stupid to say.
Yeah.
So like we could be like in Paramount at the end of the day, I would have no idea.
That's awesome. Because I thought they just gave you like freedom to just like, yeah, just drive. You've got 2 GoPros. You're good. Just go.
No, yeah. There's a golf cart with like the main camera and the cinematographer, and then there's like 3 GoPros, I think, like on my cart.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then after that, it's just like, yeah, I'm just talking. I have no idea what's happening. I'm like barely driving.
Jeez. It's just, and wall.
Yeah, really.
Dear God.
Yeah.
So we were able to follow the bad guys because they used. This is when they were having their Starsky and Hutch argument, and they were pretty much. He said that he knew exactly how many MG10s were gone, but then he had the flip phone, and we find out that the actual FBI agent, which I didn't mention earlier, I believe Hirsch, was actually the boyfriend, because our pregnant lady, our victim Natasha, she was dating somebody for a while, and she felt like it was love. Then they got into an argument, and she was about to leave until she got pregnant, and I believe his name was Gino.
Corelli.
Thank you. And so,
Yeah, the alias.
yes, but so he is real, and obviously we found out what his real name was, and I loved how immediately Riggs didn't even say anything. He just jumped. Well, he starts seeing Hutch. What is it called? It's a hood. It's a hood slide.
Hood
Yeah,
slide.
hood slide.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he hood slide on the car, and I love how he I wanted to see Damon Wayans do it though.
of course, yeah.
I really did. I'm
it's
really
coming.
disappointed.
Check it out.
You think it's gonna happen?
Oh, of course, and it's probably not gonna end well.
But we follow them to, I guess, the point where they're trying to take the merchandise, and he kidnaps Natasha, which was just rough because I'm like, what? She's pregnant. Could you be a little? No, because you're a bad guy. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, she's already working these like hot days in the Hollywood Hills as a caterer. You know, her butt's being grabbed by all these like
Right.
douchey millionaires.
Yep.
Can't catch a break. She's all these weeks
shot
pregnant.
at.
Yeah, getting shot at and then kidnapped again.
And they put her in the trunk. You couldn't even put her in the back seat.
Yeah.
It's some BS.
Did you see that coming? That dude was the bad guy?
I did, but I was hoping it wasn't. I was hoping it was gonna be someone new.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know why.
Yeah, I was thinking, you know what? I don't know who I thought it was going to be, but I didn't see that one coming. I didn't think
Really?
it. No, I didn't. For some reason, I should have, but I didn't. My senses were just like, no, it's somebody
Dulled-
else.
dulled by the explosions.
Yeah, what
There
was
was a
like
lot.
so many
There's so many
explosions.
explosions. Well, because I'm a big Castle fan. It's usually my scenario is when you're watching something that's like a crime show like this. It's always a character that was introduced but is not really in it.
Yeah.
He's usually just floating around
It's like
in
the
the
classic
background.
Scooby-Doo situation.
Yes. Yeah. He's usually either the first.
Janitor.
Yeah. It's usually like the first witness, or like it's the I was about to say janitor, the guy who talks first.
Right.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
I've noticed.
The creepy FBI agent.
He was. I don't know. I didn't like him. I was like, why is the FBI even involved? Period. But I knew it was because of the
Or
military.
ATF, that's what it was. He was
Yeah,
ATF.
yeah. I figured it was because of the fact that they're military grade weapons. But
Right.
I was like, I don't know. You rubbed me the wrong way. But yeah, so he was extremely creepy. I didn't like that, but
Good guy though. He's a good guy.
yeah, I can imagine. But the actor
in real life.
is
In
probably
real life,
really
he is
awesome.
not creepy. Just in case.
Nah, he's a good
He was
guy.
actually a
Let's
really
just
good actor
clarify.
because he stayed cool, calm, and collected for his actual part in the precinct, and then he looked like he just let out
Fooled
the
me,
crazy.
so good job.
Yeah, see? But I liked that he was so crazy that he was gonna let Josh shoot him in the shoulder to make it look like he was injured.
Yeah, he's ready to eat that bullet.
Yeah.
It's commitment.
No, I mean, that was fine.
You got to make it look legit.
That was crazy.
Speaking
to
of
me,
looking
though.
legit, like I don't think I've seen another show like a actual headshot like that.
Yeah, I was gonna
know.
say. I think Walking Dead might be the closest that I can
Sorry,
think
I guess
of.
I meant on network. Like
Oh
on
yeah, no,
network
I
TV.
completely agree with
Yeah.
you. That's what we were actually talking about last week. Was that the fact that when Murtaugh shot Riggs in the foot, you saw.
The bullet came out.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
Yeah, even that is like, oh, his foot, and then other body parts. But I was like, this guy got shot in the face. And
Right.
at first, it was like, it looked almost like it was so quick that it was like his gun malfunctioned somehow. Like,
Yeah.
and somehow the bullet from his own gun reached his forehead. But yeah, I was impressed. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, I didn't
yeah.
even register what was happening because it was so fast, and he just kind of stopped. So I was like, wait, what? And then he fell backwards, and I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
No, I think this show is breaking a lot of walls, and I think it's awesome. And I'm glad that they're doing that because I think this is a good time to do this, especially with Lethal Weapon. You're allowed to
Got
break
to. Yeah, I
crack
mean
some
that
eggs.
show. Yeah, they did that constantly in the movies, like stuff that you hadn't seen, and
Yeah.
it's great
Right.
that they're still continuing.
So I'm glad, yes, exactly, that they're continuing it in TV. So it was Riggs who shot him in the shoulder, and they continued to have some banter. And I love how he was like, shoot directly in front of you.
Right.
And there was some build up. The music was was it crescendoing? And then he shot, he shot the truck. And nothing. I love how the music even cut off.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
quiet. I was like,
Yeah, worst shot ever.
and we were just like,
Right.
what's happening? And I love that he was just like, it's a big target. How did you miss that? And I love how they're still arguing, but then you can see the Chinese fireworks actually
Right.
starting to. Oh, that was so crazy.
And then the captain sees the fireworks and says, "Yeah, someone tell me where Murtaugh and Riggs are," because he
And
knew.
because I mean, what would you think if you have two crazy cops in your precinct and all of a sudden you just see random fireworks happening just in the middle of downtown? You're like, yeah, it's
Gotta be them.
It's gotta be them.
What's cool too is that they, I was there the day that the second unit was shooting the inserts of the actual firework box, and it like couldn't. It's so interesting like the way everything gets edited together because like when you're there the day of, it's literally just like a big crate that has 5 sides to it. The one side's open so the camera can see in. And then just like this like little like rinky dink, with a little like lighter, this like little fuse, and they're like, all right, cut, cool, we got it. But then when you see it in the show, it's like the music and stuff,
Yeah.
and like
Right.
you hear the sound design of like this is actually
Yeah.
gonna explode like crazy, and it's
Yeah.
so funny to see like both sides.
Right.
That's nuts. We're gonna get more into how filming is for you because I want to know more because I feel like there's a lot that happens. So I like that you said there was a second unit. So I think that's really interesting. 'Cause it feels like it's shot just like a movie instead
They
of it being a
almost
TV
are.
show.
They almost every day are shooting with 2 units. It's crazy.
So crazy.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
wild.
that. So obviously everybody's fine. We get back and she's safe, and I like that Riggs is was really upset that he couldn't protect her, but everything's good now. I loved the moment. Again, I always talk about her. Mrs. Murtaugh is fantastic, and I love that
Yeah,
they.
Keisha kills it.
Yeah.
She's
yeah,
so
she does.
fine. But I love their relationship. I loved it in the Lethal Weapon movie, so I'm really glad they were kind of like hitting it on the nail in the TV show as well, as that she is like a rock, and that's how her role has always been. But I also love that I want to know more about like what she does as well.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like the show is progressive in a lot of different ways, and it's really great that that's something else that Murtaugh is struggling with. That like she's the breadwinner, and he
Right.
didn't have to go back to work because they already live in this amazing house
Right.
built off of her money and stuff.
Yep.
Not a cop salary, and so it's cool to see like how important she is in her own circles, and not just like I think like Darlene Love in the movies was great because
Yeah.
she had like 3 lines for all 4 movies.
I know, which sucks, but I always loved her presence there.
Oh, yeah, of
so
course.
yeah, I don't know, but. I love that she has one rule, just one major rule. You always come back to me, and I
Right.
love that. And I like that she also talked to Riggs about that too near the end of
Right.
the episode. But I like that also she's usually strong the entire time, but I love how when she was watching her computer screen, because she gets alerts from his, I guess that's his Apple Watch technically, and the fact that he took it off and it cut off, and immediately she was
you
like,
can see that concern on her face, like,
Yeah.
wait, what just happened?
because like I said, she's always kind of smiling the entire time, or she's really stern.
She's pretty well tempered.
Yeah. So it was kind of interesting to see her kind of have a moment of vulnerability just for a split second, but then as soon as we see her in the next scene, she's back to normal.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Oh, just a Tuesday, huh?
Yeah, I love that, and I love their dialogue together. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, it seems like they actually love each other.
Yeah,
Right? Like,
exactly.
Right.
There's
Like I would
extreme
expect to
chemistry.
see him, like when I see him on the stream, like, that is not your wife.
Yeah, totally.
And I love how they have again their little stuff where he can't eat ribs anymore because he refuses to take his life seriously, and now it's just fish and kale from now on. That's the deal.
I feel like Roger Murtaugh can still make a banging fish, though.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree. And obviously at the very end we get them back together, but I love how it doesn't end on just like this super fluffy moment. It ends, he's like, you want to go get a drink? Sure, I know the perfect place.
Right. And basically they go get revenge.
But because I totally thought it was just going to be just fade to black, that's it, and go into the next, like, hey, this is what happens on episode 3. Nope, we get them stumbling in. I don't even know what godly hour they came into, and
I meant to put that there. I wanted that there. He's knocking stuff over.
Yep, and they go into the first thing. Gotta go into the fridge,
get
get
those ribs.
Get those ribs.
See, I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. I don't like cold chicken. I don't like cold pizza. And I was sitting there thinking, like, even though these ribs are banging, like, I'm not even going to guess. They are. I don't want cold ribs.
It would have been amazing.
We have to remember they're drunk though, so
Yeah, true. Yeah,
they're just
if you're
gonna
drunk,
eat
that
it.
dulls your senses, right?
No,
I'm
no,
good.
no.
I'm still going to warm it up in the microwave.
It would have been amazing
Yeah.
if they came in stumbling, got the ribs out, and then you just watched them heat it in silence for like 30 seconds. Just like waiting for the ribs to be done.
You know what the sad thing is?
Yeah, that would've been awesome.
I would have actually watched that completely. I would have been
pretty
like, this is the best show ever. But no, I'm on the same boat. I can't have cold pizza either. I'm weird like that.
I don't see
need
how people
hot
do it.
melted cheese.
I don't know that anybody really likes it, but they just don't care enough to heat it.
Yeah.
I could have it.
That's a good point. That's
Hey,
a
man,
good point.
I think that they were just so sloshed. They were just like, we're just gonna eat it.
Yeah.
She's gonna eat it. Or maybe she did heat it up and then it wasn't as cold. I don't know. You never know.
Yeah.
But
It was one of those reverse refrigerators where everything's hot inside and stuff.
hey, man, I don't know. I'll take it. But that was the end of the episode. So your final thoughts on episode 2?
Episode 2 was good. I think they kicked up the action just a little bit more, which
They did.
if you believe that, then it's like, what? They did what? Because the first episode came out guns blazing.
Right.
And then they did the same thing. They took it to another level with the second episode. And I think it's just going to get better, but I also think that we're going to see them get tighter. The bond between Riggs and Murtaugh is going to get tighter. I think the whole team to expand into, to include Scorsese, I think the whole unit, what I'm saying, they're still learning how to work with each other, at least when it comes to Riggs. And I think the whole team is getting ready to just start clicking. They're already there, but they're just going to be that much tighter. There's going to be that much more cohesion.
Sure.
And then it's just going to be like, bam, bam, bam. And they're just going to be in tune with each other when they're tackling these cases and jumping and diving off of buildings and grabbing pregnant women and throwing them and
Too much.
all that kind of craziness.
Too much. I have to agree on that. I'm really excited to see Riggs starting to get a little bit better in therapy, and then there's going to be that weird hit in in like the middle of the season where it's just going to all just plummet for him, and then Murtaugh has to be his rock on that one. I'm also waiting for the episode when one of the Murtaugh kids are kidnapped, and they're really going to have to work together because Murtaugh's not going to be able to do it by himself. So those are the 2 episodes that I'm waiting for, and obviously I still want a Scorsese episode. I want it so bad. Just
We need a montage.
I know, we'll see. Any day now.
But before we get into more of Johnathan and predictions, I want to talk about iTunes real quick. Guys, every week I'm going to keep bringing this up. We have an iTunes page for the Lethal Weapon after show.
You can listen to us in your car.
Yes, anytime. When you're at the gym, something. I want to know your thoughts about this
When
Lethal
you're on
Weapon
a
TV
plane
show.
going somewhere far.
No, I want it. I want to see it. I want this. I loved the comments that we got last week. I love the live chat. You guys are awesome. I'm seeing all of your stuff here. You guys are fantastic. And just give us those 5 or 4 stars. The other ones do not work. And just help us out because, again, we can get awesome guests like
Put us
Johnathan.
in your phone.
Do it.
We want to be in your home.
Do it.
Check us out.
Do it.
I'll come over. I'll listen with you.
Yeah, it'll be great.
I'm not saying not like
Bring over
every week, but like some weeks.
Yeah,
He'll
whenever
just show
you're
up.
free. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, he'll bring ribs. It'll be great.
I'm trying to start
Cold
my own
ribs.
like Bill Murray legacy and just start like showing up randomly
it.
at parties and stuff.
I love it. I think that's going to be awesome. So, without further ado, let's jump into predictions real quick. Where's that music? We have really awesome predictions
We
music.
do. Oh.
There it is.
And we got a little
light
lights.
show.
Little
yeah.
lights.
Yes. So, I'm going to let you go first. What are your predictions? Because we had a really cool teaser, and it looks like they're just typical stuff, getting into some explosions and car chases.
Yeah.
Usual stuff.
I mean, again, I think the action's just gonna keep getting bigger and better.
Mm-hmm.
The team's gonna get tighter, and hopefully, Trish will cut him some slack. He'll get some ribs or a nice juicy burger. Maybe he'll get some before his birthday.
It's not going to happen. He's got to wait till...
I don't know. I
60?
don't know. No. I think it's gonna happen. I think at some point it's gonna go down. So I'm gonna cross my fingers for that. Yeah, I just think it's just gonna get bigger and better. We're just gonna see a lot more. But then they're also gonna, continue to throw things in that are, homages to the original Lethal Weapon franchise, which is great as well. So that's my predictions.
Awesome. I know that you can't make predictions per se because I know that you're on the show. But is there anything that that hasn't been shot that maybe you would want for maybe season 2, or maybe you want just for Scorsese?
I mean, we already know there's gonna be a season 2.
I mean, we know that.
I know people.
We know that.
I know people.
No, I
Okay,
get
I'm
it.
just
I mean,
saying.
we would all really love for that to happen.
Yes.
As far as I know, 13 just got. This is some industry term I'm going to throw out right now. The script just got beat out the other day, meaning that they just beat out the actual script, finding the beats of the outline of what's going to happen throughout the show. I know that happened just this week, and I just got 8. And we're in the middle of shooting 7, which will finish this week.
Wow.
So I still don't really know that much either. I'm sure Damon and Clayton know more. I'm not as important.
You're important to me, buddy.
Yeah, no. Well,
important to us.
Yeah, no. So it's interesting because it's such an evolving thing even for us.
Yeah.
The people at home will see it in a certain way, and we'll be a little bit further ahead, but we're still trying to figure things out as well. So I personally would love to see a big bad that lasts for more than one episode.
Nice.
Yeah.
Whether it's an old SEAL or something, or whatever, just somebody that's Gary Busey-ish.
Yes.
Someone really crazy. And so, but right now it's just rocking and rolling, and I'm almost as in the dark as everybody else.
I mean, I don't like that you're in the dark, but I love that you are getting some really awesome lines. It's
thanks.
fantastic. I mean, I know it's mostly coming from your brain, but I love it.
No, it's mostly from that. It was literally once they saw us F around a bunch on the first episode, they're like, oh, this is the dynamic it could be. And that's why jump to 2 and the first scene at the Hollywood Hills. I don't say anything about the crime scene.
Nope.
At all. Not once. I don't say anything about my job. Period. So which is amazing, and that's all from the writers. I didn't improvise anything, and it's cool for them to get in my head that quickly and be able to write for me that easily. It's amazing.
Oh, I love it. I agree with you. I definitely want a big bad for sure. Throughout the episode, I think, at least what I'm hoping it's an old comrade of Riggs that's just gonna mess up his life. Maybe Riggs did something. Maybe this guy loved Riggs' wife at one point and found out that she died, wants to get revenge, something of that nature. Or again, I don't know why. I know someone else felt the same way. They told me in the comments. I don't know, the captain just rubs me the wrong way too. I don't know, something deep down. I'm like, there's something weird.
TV's Kevin Rom, you don't like those gorgeous blues?
I love those gorgeous blues. I love him. His character is just shady as hell.
Yeah.
At least to me.
He's the nicest guy on the planet.
No, I bet. But I don't know what it is, especially when he keeps talking about it's coming from upstairs. It's the guys. It's the whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like you're lying
I think
to
you're
me,
being very
Kevin.
hard on Cap right now.
Yeah, you want
know.
Captain to be part of Cobra.
Maybe.
Right.
That would be cool.
He's part of the Hydra or something.
take it.
He turns around, he's gonna be Dr. Claw one of these days.
I don't know. I just think that's just him. He's a captain, so he can't really put up with any BS.
I mean, that's true. Again, I'm not completely hoping for it. It's just something that's just giving me red flags,
right.
man. I don't know.
At the Paley, we did something. We did a panel at the Paley Center recently, and Matt Miller did say that soon you will find out more about the dynamic between Murtaugh and
their
Avery,
history.
their history, and something that Avery has done in the past, and like all that stuff.
I don't know.
Brooks Avery.
I don't know. I feel like he's out to get Murtaugh in some weird shape and form. First, putting Riggs there to drive him insane.
Yeah,
he doesn't seem like it, but I know that's what he was actually doing. But is there anything that you are excited for you? Like anything that you want to talk about or promote or anything like that that's coming up? Or is it just
that you're working on?
or is it just Lethal Weapon for now?
Yeah, I mean, I just I was telling you folks before we went on air that I just moved here from New York with my lovely wife
Welcome.
that I'm currently winking at. She's the best. And so I think right now we're just kind of like, New York was so crazy and Los Angeles isn't at all. And so we're just kind of like slinking into this life and figuring things out. And I haven't done a UCB show out here yet, but like so many of my friends are part of it here from New York and just other people I've met in Los Angeles. So I'm sure at some point I'll start doing sketch comedy again.
Awesome.
And then I have like a few pilots of my own that I'm like just like tinkering around with and like just waiting to I guess waiting for like the winter break or something to start putting the focus back on that.
Sure.
And it's so funny because like I'm such I write a lot of comedy, but like the character you see is more like me than anything I've written. Something where it's like, is he joking? I can't tell if he's joking. He's not moving his face at all, like when he says this.
Right.
And so now that I've been kind of having this experience, I have to like rethink, some of the characters I've built for myself because I feel like now I'm having so much fun doing like the dry tone, straight faced dude that I might want to delve into that a little bit more. But for now, it's just like, let's see what happens with Lethal Weapon. It's a blast, and that's entirely my focus right now.
Yeah, because I mean, we actually got some awesome pictures of you on set and things like that. But it seems like you're pretty close with everybody as well.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Everybody and that's the thing that like people either back home or people that are in the industry don't understand that not every. I'm not talking shit on anybody specifically, but not every set is cool.
Right.
Because
Of course,
sometimes there's
yeah.
like big egos, or sometimes like things don't go correctly.
Yeah.
And tensions flare up, and all this stuff just happens. And this show has just been like a true blast, and like everybody's so nice, like suspiciously nice, and everybody's like very kind, very welcoming, and like. You're able to improvise on set, which doesn't always happen.
Right.
And like sometimes people are like, no, you have to say these words. This is the way it happens, and it's the way I say it happens. And everybody's just been really cool. So it's just like it's been very easy to seem like we're friends because we actually are.
That's awesome.
Right, that's good.
Yeah, especially like the jump to the second episode, like when Michelle Mitchener first joined. You just met her tonight as Detective Bailey.
Yeah.
But after the first table read we had with her, she was like, man, it seems like you guys have been shooting for like 3 seasons already. Just because we were all joking around with each other at the table read.
Yeah.
We hadn't seen each other in like, 4 months since the pilot and stuff.
Right.
And the dynamic is there, and it's really been something special for sure.
Yeah,
That's
it's definitely you can definitely see it on screen. The chemistry is there, so that's great. It's good stuff. It's a good show. And I have something that I want to say to a few select people. Told you so. Show was awesome.
Oh, people are haters?
yeah. Because everybody was
I
telling
had a few people that were like, I don't know, they're going to remake it into a TV show? And I'm like, yes, and it's going to be amazing. And that was just me seeing it off of the trailer. And I can sit here and say, I told you so. So if you haven't tuned in to Lethal Weapon on Fox, you need to do that immediately. Otherwise, you're watching TV all wrong.
And there haven't been that many haters. There have been haters,
No,
but not
but not
nearly as many as I
many.
thought there would be.
Yeah,
So I go on that attack fast. Like on Twitter, I'm like all about engaging haters. Not even in a shitty way, just like in a like, oh, you hate it? Why? And then they clam up immediately. And
Oh yeah, because they're like, what?
Right.
Yeah.
Well.
I didn't think
Mr. Scorsese, I didn't realize that you were reading this. But no, so it's been interesting because it's like not nearly as many haters as like otherwise there would be for like a
Well, I
freshman
think
show.
too.
Right?
I think too is when you find out that something's getting ready to be remade, and you automatically just like, oh goodness. But there are those rare times when something gets remade and you're like, man, this is good. And then there's a whole nother generation now that has no idea about the Lethal Weapon movies.
Totally.
So they're just like, oh wait, that was from a movie, and I'm just like, oh god,
My
I
whole
feel
thing-
so
my-
old
my
now.
thing-
But it's
Yeah, my
it's
thing
awesome.
Still
that
good.
shuts people up immediately when people are shitting on remakes.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, so I guess you can't like Scarface that much, because that was a remake from like 1930 whatever. So I don't want to hear it.
Or Ocean's 11.
Or Ocean's 11.
It was the original was crappy, but it happened.
Yeah. So it's like those things happen all the time. So it's like, and I used to be one of those people. I'm like a reformed hater on the reboots.
Look at you.
So I'm a huge nerd. I've consumed a lot of media. I've watched a lot of stuff, and so usually I'm like, oh, they're making this. But something like this makes perfect sense to me because it's like these two dudes are two of the most iconic characters of all time, and in a film you can only do so much storytelling. And what is TV? Putting the same people in different scenarios over and over again. And I feel like these guys, the characters have the legs to do that, so it makes perfect sense.
Not only that, but now we get to live in that universe, in that world, and it's one of those things where like there's certain movies you watch and you're like, oh, but I want to know what happens, afterwards, like what happens, next week. Well, with this show, you get that.
Yeah, you don't have to wait 2 years.
If you're not watching this, you're watching TV wrong. Set your DVRs, Lethal Weapon, check it out.
Yeah. If you're not watching this, you're watching a blind spot, and that's incorrect.
Wrong.
You know what's not incorrect is not watching us next week because I need it. So, guys, I'm sad to say because we had so much fun and the time went by so quick. It's the end of our show, guys. So, yeah, I know. But, Jonathan, you are totally welcome to come on anytime you want.
Anytime.
Yes,
Thank you.
please.
Come kick it.
Yeah,
especially there's going to be more and more scenes here and there, so.
Good.
We've got more Perrier.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No,
As
we'll
much
just have
as you can handle.
I really
buckets.
drained this. This is like 48 ounces, and I drained the hell out of it.
No, there's going to be ribs and Perrier. That's it.
Next time we'll feed you.
Thank you.
But,
And your wife, if you want to bring your wife.
yeah, she coming out. I've been talking to her this entire time. I was just like, yeah, her and I are on the same page.
She's great.
But for anyone who doesn't know who you are, where can they find you on social media?
It's all the same thing. It's JTHAN Prime, Jathan Prime, and that's Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. I think that's that. And I don't know. I'm around.
You guys can find him.
Yeah, there's not that
Just
many.
Talk to him.
There's not that many guys that look like Lenny Kravitz and Maxwell. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just
Wrapped up into one.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever watched IT Crowd, but you remind me of
dude, yeah, Richard Ayoade.
Yeah. Oh,
I could do a decent impression of him, but he's not famous enough here for it to matter.
Oh, stop it. I love IT Crowd.
At Comic-Con, I get bothered a lot because everybody thinks I'm being Moss. Yeah.
Rough.
It's as good as it is terrible.
Well, they're going to start knowing you as Johnathan Fernandez, so it doesn't matter.
And they're going to go up to Richard Ayoade and be like, hey, it's Scorsese. I can't wait for it.
It's going to be awesome. Where can they find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter, ChaosJ, KAASJ, and you can also find me on Instagram, ChaosJ, or Chaos_Oceans31. Oceans, why? Because your boy's so wavy.
Oh, stop it.
See, that's awesome. I need something like that. I need a writer.
We'll talk offline. We'll talk
All
offline.
right.
And you guys, again, I'm Alexis Torres. You can find me again where all Alexis Torres are sold at atorres890. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we will see you with full explosions next week. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Fix that.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.